Okay, hello everyone. I know for some of the folks who were here uh, yesterday, they saw me just a bit being featured in Rod's panel yesterday. I am Kevin Kiba, and I am one of the cosplayer artists that is associated with ArtWay Alliance. But not only that, I've also started my own convention known as ChromaCon, which will be happening in a few months in March 1st through the 3rd of 2024. I'm here at Westminster Hall. Um, which is so near and dear to my heart because this was my wedding venue. And I just absolutely love this place. And I'm so happy to be working once again with not just Artway Alliance, but also with the Poe House as well. Um, and this has been absolutely wonderful. So they went ahead and they asked me for a particular project. Um, they wanted something to be about Wednesday today because it's Wednesday, and we have some fans of the show as well as just the overall Addams Family lore. So today, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to walk through how to make the window pane from the show. And it's a really simple, really easy project that everybody can do. But we're also going to be talking about cosplay as well and about finding your identity and stuff like that. So if you have any questions about cosplay at all, I'm your girl. Just go ahead and post it in the comments where I can go ahead and I can see it and I can answer you live. So we're starting here today, and so thankful for my buddy Jen here, who is assisting me by gathering all the different paper and stuff like that too. You're going to see me adjust the camera just a little bit every once in a while, just because of the space that I need for this. I want to say thank you to Jen for helping me with all these teeny tiny little squares, but we're definitely going to be using it um, for our window pane. So I'm starting with a black piece of paper here. And what we're going to do is that first we're going to go ahead and cut out the circle. And I didn't bring anything that was circular. So what I'm going to use is that I'm going to use one of the really awesome statues of Atlas. And I'm going to just use that as my base just to go ahead and trace and get it all started. So everybody say hi to Atlas. Okay. I'm just going to do my best to be very careful with him because we're just simply borrow. Or grab a pencil here just so I can go ahead and I can trace it. Beautiful. Okay, great. Move this the other way. I really like this project because it's still interesting while actually being nice and simple. And I always like projects that even though it is very simple, it looks complicated. So whenever people see it, they're like, oh my goodness, how do you, I could never. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Not only can you do it, you can go ahead and you can teach others to do it. You can have this in your classrooms and all that kind of wonderful, wonderful stuff. So now that we got our circle, and that actually shows up really well on camera. I'm quite surprised. Normally I use kind of like a metallic Sharpie um, or like a pencil because of the lead. So, and then once I go ahead and I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out the circle. So today I've been tasked about asking about or like to talk about cosplay, finding your identity through cosplay and all that kind of wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I've been a cosplayer for a long, long time. And when it came to just cosplay in general, I started really working with costuming and costumes in the early 90s. And that was way before we even coined the term cosplay over here in the States. Even if we did, it wasn't a very common term used. This was also a time where, when we were able to even find folks to talk about cosplay, it was through like Instant Messenger on AOL Instant Messenger. And my goodness, I am dating myself. But that is what we did. When it came to like finding other like-minded folks, um, the few and far in between, it was still a very close niche. community, and I still love it, which is probably why I still participated in it today. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to do is that you're going to treat this kind of like how you do those paper snowflakes, and we're just going to fold the circle first in half, then in quarters, then in eighths, and then if you're really feeling frisky, in sixteenths. And I think I'm so we're going to do that. Do the best you can with those sixteenths, though. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Ha ha! Yeah, nice. Okay. So now I went ahead and I've done that. I'm just going to go ahead and take one of the sides here, and then I'm basically going to do it where, because when it comes to webs, we're basically going to be cutting out the negative spaces of it. So it's going to be almost kind of like a curved thing, kind of like that, right? So basically, the shape is almost kind of like a half a mouth, something like that. If you can kind of see it here, almost. Yeah, that metallic show. So I'm going to just go ahead and take this same pattern, and I'm just going to keep cutting it down the entire way down as much as I can, as much as I can. It's going to be kind of hard. Make sure you have decent scissors for this. We're going to test these out today. Yeah, okay, these are happening. These are happening. But yeah, as I was saying, I've been cosplaying for quite a long time now, and it's been really really great, and I'm so glad to be part of the cosplay community for this long, and to be able to expand on that by doing shows like this and helping out local businesses like this. Just living all around my best life. And I'm here for it. But when it comes to kind of my start as a cosplayer, it was very much in the 90s, and I wanted to cosplay Scary Spice. But my dad is very Jamaican, and that leopard print bikini top was not happening. Like, so we had to have some compromises. We definitely had to have some compromises for that. It was also October uh, up north, so that was also not happening. I was like, but the costume still exists. It still exists, and some pictures at home still, which I absolutely love to this day. I gotta definitely remake that costume. But as I kind of progressed and kind of like went through the motions when it comes to my costuming, at least that's why I called it at the time. I had no idea. It wasn't really until my 18th year, because in my family, what we do is that we give a gift for turning 18 and graduating, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. So my brother got a baseball game, but he got like a super important one. I don't know. I don't sports well, y'all, as you can tell by my nerdy demeanor. My other sister, she went to a fashion show, and then one of my other sisters, she went to a Star Trek convention. But for me, it was a anime convention. I had no idea that kind of stuff existed here, much less at all here in the States. And I was so thrilled. At that point, when I was sewing mainly church clothes and, like other projects and stuff like that. But nothing as intricate as the costumes I saw that day when my parents surprised me, mainly my mom. She surprised me with a convention of my own. It was an anime themed one. She pushed me right in front of like an Inuyasha cosplayer. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that, but I lost my marbles. Absolutely lost my marbles. I was like, wait a second. I don't have to just sew cosplay like church clothes. I can be these characters. Stop it. And from then it's nonstop. It was nonstop for me. And now we are here today with it. And it has thoroughly become a part of my life to the point where, and I'm thankful that I can make regular clothes as well, so I can wear part of my like, cosplay pieces as regular clothes. That's always nice to secretly cosplay a normal person on a regular basis. I know these are a little jagged, but honestly, I kind of like that. So we're gonna keep. I'll go ahead and I'll trim up some of them, but I kind of like because it kind of looks like an actual web. So I'll go ahead and pull it up. It's looking pretty good. All right, nice. So now we have our spider web. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to take some contact paper. Now, I really enjoy contact paper just mainly because of I like how clear it is and how sticky it is without having to use like messy glues or anything like that. So we go ahead and we have like the clear side here, and then on the outside, actually, so it's really nice that they also have like the measurements and stuff like that on the back too. You can see this with a couple of other crafting projects and so on projects, but that helps me cut a clean line. I don't always cut clean lines, as you can plainly see from my lip, but that's okay. That's okay. But when you go ahead, you can actually separate it. And what we're going to do is that we're going to plant our web onto the sticky side of it. So first, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to do a little bit of overlay here over on my workspace, just so I can make sure that y'all see it properly. So it looks like it'll just fit. I use this line, but I'm going to give myself some space and cut this line here. So I'm just going to mark it real quick, just so I don't lose my space. And then I'm just going to cut this out. Easy peasy. So that's probably a straight line I've cut all year so far. And it was caught on camera. Check me out. Check me out. All right, cool. So now that we have our like contact paper, I'm just going to do my best to just try and make it as straight as possible by rolling it in the opposite direction, just so it's a little easier because I know it's been rolled up for a long time. Okay. Now that we are here, I'm going to go ahead. Glad I made that build before. Okay. And we already have some stragglers. Go me. I'm going to add this. Tits. And then I like to go center and then bam, just so I don't get any bumps or anything like that. Okay, there we go. Fabulous. Cool. I can go ahead and not get the wire attached to it. And all right. So now what this does is that it has a nice little protective film on one side of it, but then I still have the sticky stuff kind of like coming through the holes here. So with that, what I can do is that I'm going to take these tiny squares that have been so painstakingly cut, not by me. I'm going to be honest with you, definitely not by me. And then we can go ahead and we can place them in different areas. So when we go ahead and we flip it over, we go ahead and we see the color shining out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull up a reference really quickly of the window pane design from the show Wednesday. I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure most people have seen it by now. So spoilers. Let me see here. Okay. So as you can see from my phone here, it kind of looks like that here. So we know that the lines are just a little bit thinner and something like that. It's from somebody who's on Etsy. There's some stuff on Amazon. We have nice little designs here. So let's go and let's actually take it from the show. There's a lot of really fun colors that are happening. It's like, but we know that we only have to do half of it. So we're gonna go ahead. This one looks cool too. We'll go ahead and we'll use this one for a reference. So I'm going to put that to the side here, just so there's a little bit more space for me to work with. And then we're just going to do our best and just match, or honestly, if there's other colors that you prefer, that you would like more of, we can do that as well. It really is up to you, because the cool part about this project is that as soon as you do it, people will know what you're going for. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start cutting squares here and there. Um, Small strips, and then just landing them where I want them to go. So, because I know that there are some lines here that they aren't fully going through, some are, some are going certain directions, and she really kind of free formed her side. So we're going to do the same, but we just know, especially with her personality, there's a lot of pink in there. I'm going to start at least with like this deep pink here. Put it down, and then basically my imaginary line, it doesn't have this right down here. So this whole side is going to be filled with different colors. So that's it. I really, really dig pink. I also really, really dig yellow as well. So I'll just be going through and really just kind of feeling where I want it to go, how I want it placed. Maybe some down here. Maybe add a little bit of blue too. I really like the neon colors. Um, as some of you have seen my hair yesterday in Rod's panel, I'm sure you already know. I think I'll just put this blue one right here, that, and just so I don't waste. I'm gonna have this one probably like in this corner up here. That works. And with the contact paper being so sticky, I don't have to worry about glue too much, which is really nice. I've seen somebody do this before where they've gone and just like, they literally just let the pieces just fly down. And I was like, I don't know about that too much. But that's just my personality. I like careful placement. Let's add a little this color here. I like this kind of plum-esque color here. This looks really, really nice. Some of that. Let's put that right in the middle of this one. Put a little more here. And if any of you actually have any questions about getting into cosplay or anything like that, please let me know. That is why I'm here. Otherwise, I'm just having fun with this, with making this window pane. Here, maybe we'll do more kind of like straight down the middle of this one. So cut a little bit more of this off. Yeah, that works. Add some green. this nice bright color. Really, really nice. Okay. Hey, Jay Dudley. So Jay Dudley wrote, "What are some ways someone can make a cosplay their own or reflect their personality?" That is actually a really great question. The thing when it comes to cosplay, and one of the things I absolutely love about it is that there can be 100 people cosplaying the same character, and each and every one of them is completely different. Whether it's how you styled your wig, where you sourced your cosplay from, whether you made it or you bought it. Like if you prefer to include your hair texture as opposed to purchasing a wig, little things like that here, certain things that you tend to gravitate towards that you prefer. Um, and I think honestly, even just those decisions, those little decisions that you think aren't going to be um, a huge thing when it comes to your cosplay, actually are extremely impactful to how your cosplay will look at the end of it. There has been a wonderful way that people have been incorporating their natural hair, and that's been a recent thing happening in the cosplay community, uh, especially with those who have kinky hair and stuff like that too, who want to have that like really nice full body, which is an excellent example of that. But you have your own likes, you have your own dislikes. There's certain things that you already gravitate towards, you know, um, certain textures that you prefer of your clothing that you like, that you naturally incorporate into your wardrobe already, um, as opposed to like little fashion things that you seem to enjoy that may not always be what the character is. My thing is, I really don't like a lot of things like high collars or anything like that. I'm very much like my dad with that. He never really wore a lot of necklaces or anything like that. And I'm kind of the same way. Uh, so when it comes to certain cosplays, honestly, sometimes I go ahead and I change the design a little bit. That makes it a little more comfortable for me. But that's also a way that you can go ahead and add that nice little piece of you in your cosplays as well. So incorporating a lot of your own personal likes and dislikes and wondering, it's like, hey, how can I take the things that I enjoy, that I really like, and add this in there and really kind of like get your brain going when it comes to that. I think that is a great way to incorporate your own personality into the characters that you wish to be. Just your own designs alone, or really kind of going and like getting that good old thinking cap in gear and really focusing on your comfortability, because there's three things I always say to make sure to to make sure it works whenever you're wearing a cosplay. If you can eat, if you can sit, and if you can use the restroom. If you have those, which unfortunately not all cosplays can do that, and I learned that very much the hard way starting off. But if you just make sure to add the like you keep those main three in there, of course, with every person, we're all unique. You have your own different questions that you use to incorporate in the design of your cosplay. But those three mainly assist me very much when it comes to overall design of my cosplays. Well, thank you so much, Jay Dudley, for asking. I really hope that that answered the question. Oh, okay. So Jen here actually has a question of her own as well. And you said, what is the biggest challenges? The biggest challenges to well, aside from those three questions, I said. um, for me personally, I will say how to adapt your cosplay to the proper environment was one of the biggest challenges that I've had to deal with. But that's just me personally. I know that there are some others who have different struggles when it comes to theirs. Um, there have been times where I wore wings and it was extremely windy outside, and I almost took flight, which now is a cool story to tell. But at the time, it didn't really feel that way. Now did it? Um, but that is definitely one of those where, and I think this also kind of goes back to the question that Jay Dudley asked me, where it comes to like showing or reflecting your own personality in your cosplays, where you also have to focus on your personal comfortability and really kind of see, if there are things there that's in the cosplay or in the design of the character that may not work for you. Uh, there is this one person that I met at, oh my goodness, I believe it was Oticon, and I was back when it was here in Baltimore. And this was the first time that I saw somebody who wore a hijab, and they were Hatsune Miku. So they utilized their hijab as like to mimic the hair, and then they went ahead, they extended Miku's design because I believe her skirt is like mid thigh or knee length, and it went all the way to the floor. Really, really beautiful work. That I was just, oh my goodness! I think I still have that picture of that person. They were so cute. I swear. But that's a way to make sure that if you wish to cosplay a person or wish to cosplay a character, that it fits you and it fits your comfortability. But that's just another way for adapting and doing your best and making sure that it adapts properly to you. Great question, Jen. Thank you. That is, all right, so I'm just adding a little bit more here. I'm thinking of more colors. Let's add more pink because pink. Right? Even though my hair says otherwise, I think it's like mainly neon yellow and like a smoky rainbow thing happening. It's a lot happening up there. Let's do straight here. So I started with the reference, but I just kind of started rolling on my own. So it may not be perfectly accurate or anything like that, but I've never really been one for accuracy. That's right, making it my own. Let's do another.
Are there any cosplays you've done?
Any cosplays that I've done that I would like to redo? Oh my goodness, now that's one. That is one for books. My goodness. The right. The cool thing is about this, especially when it comes to like, and you'll notice this with a lot of like long-term cosplayers too, that whenever they're talking about their costumes, they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna redo this," or "Yeah, there's something like that," or "I've noticed this on somebody else, and I thought that was a great idea, and I'd like to incorporate that." Like because you're constantly learning, you're learning so many cool techniques, or you're learning from your peers as well about the amazing things that you can also learn and add to your stuff too. There's so many. I was like, I have an entire closet of costumes that I have to repair from time to time anyway. But you know, as you progress and as you go through, you know, adding more skills to your belt, you're just like, oh wow, I did this ages ago. I really should redo this part or redo that or take the time to really kind of go through the motions and make this blah 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 blah. One in particular that I was like, obsessed with this. It was, I believe it was a part of the new trilogy of Star Wars. And there were these crystal foxes that were it was on like, and forgive me because I haven't seen this movie in a hot minute. But what it was is that, and the crystal foxes were there for like what, 20 seconds? And with them, they were like, what they would do is that that planet was mainly like red sand. So a lot of their underbellies were like that really beautiful red. And then whenever like, but apparently there was like kind of like the snowstorm happening, and whenever the snow hit their fur, they crystallized. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. Um, so I designed a concept based off of a full-blown fur-lined silk dress with crystals added to the collar as well as down the back as well. Rhinestoned it and everything. And then whenever the dress picked up as I moved, it had that red belly to it. But with that one, I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, I could add stuff to it. I can edit this a little here just so it's a little easier to move because whenever you make stuff just a little too tight and then you're walking like this the entire way down, my goodness. That is definitely that one's first. I'm gonna make it easier to walk because remember, gotta add those three questions. That's it. Can I eat? Can I use the restroom? I could not use the restroom. I know it's a little TMI. But that's definitely one that I'm probably going to be remaking pretty soon. Yeah, that one was a really fun project to do anyway, just because it was almost like a clean slate. Just because it's I'm not sure if those who know the term Gajinka, but Gajinka is often used whenever you take a character that's normally non-human um, in design, and you design it in a humanoid form, which will be much easier when it comes to like you making cosplay for it, and all that kind of fun stuff. And I do that a lot when it comes to, and I'm sure if you've seen it a lot too, you've seen it a lot with like Pokemon characters and stuff like that. But that one is definitely going to be one I'm going to be remaking soon. Um, yeah, that one's probably high priority just because winter is coming and we want to make sure that the winter cosplays and I'm not freezing my butt off or not overheating if I were to wear it during summer. All right, we're almost done. So it looks like we have like a couple of spots here and there that I'm going to be adding to. So I'm just going to take more of these scraps here and just kind of keep going. Let's do a bigger one this time. There we go. Solid. And then let's add a little bit more green. Oh no, let's add this one. So we'll just kind of free form it anyway. Well, why not? Why not? Let's go straight across. Then we have a little bit of splash here too. So let's do. We got plenty of pink. Good on yellows over there. Obviously, black, more green over here. And then over here. Okay, all right, fine. Okay. Fabulous. Okay, now I'm just going to trim this just a little bit. Making sure that I'm not getting, because I don't want it to like reach outside of the circle. I want it to be very much contained inside. I'm going to just cut it out. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay. That's on, that's on. This one's a little too close for comfort. Look at this one, this corner too. And the other one too. Okay. All right, cool. So it looks like I got every piece that I would like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do another piece of contact paper. I'm just going to plant it right on top so I can kind of sandwich everything together. Do my best to be very careful. No. Of course, that doesn't work. There we go. All right. And of course, as we continue on through, and hello to the new viewers. I appreciate you for coming out and taking a look today. And if you have any more questions about cosplay or finding your identity through cosplay or anything like that, I'm more than ready to answer any of your questions for you. But, got this going, and I'm attaching the wire yet again. I may only need to do half of this. I'm just going to do my best to kind of peel a little bit at a time. See if I can get this one. Aha! I'll flatten it out as best as I can. Now, roll it backwards too, whatever it is. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead, we're going to just try and do a little bit at a time. I'm going to try my best. And have it not fight me, even though it's fighting me. Cookie dough. Thank you. So then I'm going to match up one side. And then I'm just going to slowly but surely inch it through. Just so, because I don't want to catch any bubbles. Okay. You're A-okay. Yeah, A-okay. In fact, thank you so much for the help for that. And then I'm pulling it a little bit at a time. I'm just making sure, flattening it out as much as possible as I go through. Because I don't want to catch too many bubbles from this. Okay, and then once the circle is sealed, then I can cut the rest off. Okay, so now I went ahead, I cut a corner. That's okay. I went ahead and I still have plenty that I can go ahead and I can use for another project. Get some mess out of here. Get some of these other ones out of the way. going to just cut the circle out. Now, what I like to do is I like to leave a little bit of space around it, just to kind of like keep that seal almost. Okay. All right, and that's back. And here's the front. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. And I see that there's a couple lines there. No problem. Just flatten out as much as I can. Fabulous, fabulous. I think what I'll do next time is I'll make the lines a little thinner. See, and I'm already thinking about the next time I'm going to do it. That's kind of what, right, artists. Man, I'm telling you, our biggest critiques. Here we are. I'll piece to it. And then what you can do is that if you would like, you can go ahead and hole punch it in the center. You can go ahead and hang it up, or you can use a few glue dots as well. And then you could just press it right onto your window, and the wind and the light coming through will come out really, really nicely. It would be dope, dope. There we go. Fabulous, fabulous. Sure, absolutely. Go ahead. Here it is in all of its glory. Fabulous, fabulous. I think it came out great. I'm ready to go ahead and do a couple more. I'm really excited. I know we can. We actually are almost out of time. So thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate you coming over and taking a look at what we have going on here today, just in general, much less coming over here to make this with me, as well as really thinking about like cosplay and finding your identity as well. Once again, I'm here with ArtWay Alliance, and we're doing classes all week here at Westminster Hall and Burial Ground. Um, and we're working with the Poe House as well. So by all means, yes, definitely please, if you would like to come on down, you can, but streaming here is also amazing. And I appreciate you all tuning in. Again, I'm Kanan Aikiba, and not only am I one of the artists here that's helping out with the ArtWay Alliance, but I also go ahead and I run a convention known as ChromaCon, which is happening March 1st to the 3rd of 2024 in a few months. So definitely come down and I know, right? There we go. So here's the flyer. It is happening right there at the Hilton Baltimore Inner Harbor, March 1st to the 3rd of 2024, and we can't wait to have you out there. So please definitely go ahead and take a look at our website at chromacon.com and see all the fun events that we have going on there. Thank you so much for being with us today, and have a great, great day. And let us know if you ever go ahead and you go through and you make this project. We'll definitely tag ArtWay Alliance as well as ChromaCon online. Have a good one.